Good morning. Today we will start the fourth unit, that is accounting for hire purchase and installments. So, this hire purchase and installments are not the same thing, but slightly different. Anyway, let us first of all find out what is this hire purchase and installment system. When we are purchasing the goods, the sales can be effected by the seller in different manners. One is cash sales, another is credit sales, and another is hire purchase sales. Or hire purchase system. So, when we are purchasing by giving cash, it is called cash sales. Outright we are purchasing it, so the ownership is immediately transferred to the buyer. Then coming to the credit sales, the ownership is again transferred to the buyer immediately, but the amount is not paid. The amount will be paid, the cost or the selling price, whatever you call it, that will be paid by the buyer to the seller after a particular period. So, this is called credit sales. Now, hire purchase system comes in between the two. How it is in between the two? Under this system, first of all, when you will purchase, suppose the machinery cost you rupees 10,000 or say 40,000. You want to give the down payment say rupees 10,000. Remaining balance of 30,000 will be paid, suppose, in 3 equal installments, that is 10,000 at the end of the year, like this in 3 years it will be repaid completely. Now, in this case, the amount which will be paid, this is only the principal amount, but some interest will also be paid, because you are not giving the cash immediately the whole 40,000, that is the total cost, but you are giving only 10,000. So, the remaining 30,000 is just like a credit, and if it is a credit, naturally the purchaser will have to give some interest on that. So, that interest will be his expenses in addition to the acquiring cost of 40,000. So, here we should be very particular about some terms, that is possession. The possession is transferred only after all the 3 installments are paid. That means, until and unless the last installment has been paid, the ownership is not transferred from the seller to the buyer. The buyer will get the possession immediately, but the ownership will be transferred only at the end of all the installments have been paid. So, when all the installments have been paid in due time, then the ownership is transferred from the seller to the buyer, but till then he is not the owner. Then this hire purchase price will be more than the cash price. The original price 30,000 is the cash selling price, that is 30,000. It means, if you want to purchase it by giving cash, immediately you give 30,000 rupees and get possession and ownership both of the goods. So, here it is the cash price, but when we are giving 40,000, or in this example it was 40,000, but we are giving, suppose, 10,000 into 3, that is 30,000, down payment again 10,000 plus interest. Suppose we are giving 8,000 interest. So, total hire purchase price will be 48,000. So, the hire purchase price will be definitely more than the cost price or the cash price. Now, the difference between higher purchase price and the cash price is called interest, that is paid towards interest. Then if suppose there will be some default in giving the installments, suppose 1 or 2 installments have been given, the remaining installments are not given, that means it is called a default. The purchaser will be called hire purchaser is making some default in giving the payment of the installments. So, in that case the ownership is not transferred, so possession will be also taken away by the hire vendor. The person who sells the goods on hire purchase basis is called hire vendor, is the seller, and hire purchaser is the purchaser or buyer. Now, these are the two parties in case of hire purchase system, and we have known what is interest, what is installments, that is your installments, these 3 installments will be there, and also the possession and the, you can call it repossessed. When it is defaulted by the hire purchaser, then there is right of the hire vendor to repossess the goods. Ownership was already with him, so now when he takes the repossession, naturally he is having the asset with him. Now you can ask me, what is the amount? What about the amount already he has given? He has given some amount, down payment he has given, some interest he has given, some installments also he has given. So that amount will be completely treated as hire charges, that will be called hire charges, and this amount will be forfeited by the hire vendor, so that the hire purchaser cannot have any claim, because he has already used it, used the asset, and that will be taken as the hire charge. Now this repossession can be complete repossession or partial repossession. If that is only one machinery, it has got to be complete repossession, there cannot be partial repossession. But suppose 3 trucks have been sold and 1 truck is being repossessed, or 2 trucks are being repossessed on default. So, 1 truck is left with the hire purchaser. In that case, it will be called partial repossession. Now, after knowing the parties and the techniques, that is hire purchase price is equal to cash price plus interest, then let us come to the accounting entries. As you know, there are 2 parties, one is the hire purchaser, the other is hire vendor. So, first of all let us calculate, or let us pass the journal entries which will be passed in the books of the hire purchaser, and also know what is the reason, or you can say what is the, how it is generated, how the journal entries are generated. So, first of all in the books of hire purchaser, in the books of the hire purchaser, actually there are 3 ways or 3 methods of passing these journal entries. These journal entries can be passed according to the various methods differently. So, the first method is when the cash price or assets accrual method, treating the goods not becoming the property of the hirer. This method is called method 1, cash price method, or assets accrual method. This is called cash price method because as and when we are giving some cash towards the principal, there are two parts, principal and interest. So, towards the principal whatever we are giving, that much of ownership we are having, not that we will be the owner of all the amounts. Whatever amount we have paid just towards the cash price, we will be the owner to that extent. If we are paying something towards the interest, that is our revenue expense, and for that we cannot debit the asset. So, now we will be coming to that example. So, here what is the characteristic? The characteristic is that the goods are not becoming the property of the hire purchaser. The goods when are purchased by giving the down payment, you are taking it away. Do not think that you are the owner. So, that is the assumption behind this method. So, the first entry will be when an asset is purchased on hire purchase. Actually, when an asset is purchased on hire purchase system, in the books of the hire purchaser there should not be any entry, because we are not the owner. As we are not possessing, as we are not owning the asset, there is no right which will give us the right to make it our own property. We can write asset account debited, we cannot write. Then the first entry therefore will be when we are making the down payment on delivery of the goods. We are receiving the delivery of the goods or the asset. So, at that time we are giving some amount as down payment. So, for the down payment we can have the entry, because at the time of down payment, first entry let me write. For down payment being made, where we are making the payment, down payment we are giving. So, the entry will be asset account debited only for the down payment, with the amount of the down payment to bank account. This will be the first entry. Second entry will be when the first installment becomes due. This will be at the beginning of the year when you are purchasing it. Then second entry will be for the first installment given at the end of first year. So, if the installments are paid annually, at the end of the first year, the first installment becomes due. So, when we are making the payment of the installment, we will have to write asset account debited here we will be writing whatever amount we are giving the towards the principal part only. Then we can write the second asset account debited, then interest account debited. With the amount of interest for the first year to bank account, that is the total amount. In this way, the first entry will be, the first year end entry will be passed. Then, because the asset, you can make it two entries also. For the installment being due, first of all let us do this one. We can divide it into two entries: asset account debited, interest account debited to hire vendor account. Total. And here for the first installment being due. So, this will be more clear because we are dividing this particular entry into two, that is when it becomes due, then when it is paid. Number 3 entry will be when the first installment is paid. So, here we can write hire vendor account debited to bank account. With the amount of the total installment. So, these will be the entries. In addition to that, we can have some more entries like depreciation, because at the end of the year you have to provide depreciation for that. So, number 4 entry will be for depreciation. This entry will be passed at the end of the year. For depreciation, you know depreciation is a type of loss or expense. So, debit all losses and expenses, depreciation account will be debited. Depreciation account debited to asset account. Why asset account will be created? Because when the assets value is decreasing, asset being a debit balance, in order to decrease it we have to credit it. So, due to the effect of the depreciation, the asset value is going to decrease, therefore, asset account will be credited. Then the closing entry of course, we will have to pass, because depreciation account and this interest account, these are the two accounts which are nominal in nature. So, in order to close the nominal accounts in the closing entry at the end of the year, we have to credit them and debit what? Debit profit and loss account. So, the entry will be, that is a transfer entry for transferring interest account and depreciation account to PL account. What will be the entries? We have discussed already, depreciation account was debited. So, now depreciation account will be credited. So, profit and loss account debited to interest account, this one interest account was debited, now it will be credited, so that it will be closed. Similarly, to depreciation account which was debited again will be credited, so that it will be closed to depreciation account. So, these are the journal entries we will have to pass according to method number 1. Now, that is in the books of the hire purchaser. Now, we will go to the balance sheet. In the balance sheet, of course, you can prepare the ledger accounts, you can prepare the asset account, you can prepare the hire vendor account, you can prepare interest account, you can prepare depreciation account. All these accounts you can prepare. Okay. Important ledger accounts. So, what are the important ledger accounts we will have to prepare? Number 1, we have to prepare the asset account. By preparing the asset account, we can know what is the balance from time to time after the year ending every year. So, that is asset account. Then we can prepare the hire vendor account. Hire vendor account is debited and credited so many times. So, it is better to write the hire vendors account, to open the hire vendors account in order to know what is the balance due to him. Of course, in this method, when all the amount will be paid to him, that is installments, then there will be no balance in the hire vendor account. Then we will be coming to number 3, depreciation account and interest account. So, these are the 4 accounts you have to prepare, and then one balance sheet will be prepared. Only extracts. That means how this hire vendor and asset account will be incorporated in the balance sheet, that we have to see. We can say excepting the down payment entry, all the other entries which we have passed will be repeated every year until the last installment has been paid. Asset will appear in the balance sheet at what amount? This is the note. Asset will appear in the balance sheet at cost price to the hire purchaser. What is the cost? That means selling price to the hire vendor. Cost price less depreciation. This cost price is not the total price, but that will be the price as and when we are paying towards the principal, not towards the interest. Only the amount which we have paid towards the principal portion will be taken to be the cost price, and from that we will have to provide or we will have to deduct the depreciation from time to time. Now, if we take one problem on this, it will be better to understand through that. The cash price of the asset, say a machinery, is rupees 10,000. Now, down payment will be given 1,000 and the remaining amount of 9,000 will be given along with an interest of 10% per annum, 3 installment will be given of 3 annual installments. Let us write 3 annual installments. Of rupees 3,000 plus interest at the rate of 10% per annum. Interest at the rate of 10% per annum will be added to each installment, and each installment will be of 3,000, that is 3,000 into 3, 9,000 plus one down payment 1,000. In this way it is coming to 10,000. Then depreciation rate of depreciation is equal to 20% per annum on diminishing balance. Or let us take 10% also, it will be easy to calculate. 10% per annum on diminishing balance method, that will be the amount of depreciation. From this question, how according to method 1 we will pass the entries, that is journal entries, then of course we will have to go to the ledger accounts, then prepare the balance sheet. So, first of all, coming to the journal entries. If we have taken the possession of the goods on 1st January, say 2015. So, we can write January 1st, 2015, January 1st. So, on January 1st, what will be the entry? The first entry will be not there, that is your the first entry will not be regarding the purchase of the asset, because we are treating it as cash price, at the cash price. So, the first entry will be when the down payment is made. When the down payment is made, how much down payment is made? 1000 rupees. So, for that 1000 rupees you are giving a check. So, your bank account will be credited. What will be debited? The machinery account will be debited. Mind you, it is in the books of the hire purchaser. So, first entry will be bank account debited, bank account will be credited. So, asset account or machinery account will be debited. So, machinery account debited, machinery account debited 1000 to bank account 1000. This is for the down payment. Then the second entry will be passed only at the end of the year. When at the end of the year the first installment will be due, that is 3000 rupees, and the interest will be also due, that is first installment being due, we can write on December 31st on the same year 2015, we can pass the entry amount due to the hire vendor. So, hire vendor account will be credited, and what will be debited? Your interest account will be debited, and also your machinery account will be debited. So, you can write machinery account debited $3,000, interest account debited on 9,000 you have to give interest at the rate of 10% for 1 year. So, that is 900. Machinery account debited 3000, interest account debited 900 to hire vendor account. $3,900. Then on the same date, when we will be making the payment of this 3,900 to the hire vendor, debit the receiver, that is the hire vendor account debited to bank account 3,900, 3,900. In this way, you can see hire vendor account who was credited with 3,900 has been debited here 3,900. So, hire vendor account is closed. Now, coming to the depreciation entry. Same day, that is on the last date of the year, we have to provide depreciation. Say depreciation is 10% per annum on 10,000, so it will be 1,000. So, we can write depreciation account debited depreciation account debited 1,000 to machinery account 1,000. This will be the entry. Then at the end of the year, you have to transfer the nominal accounts. There are two nominal accounts, that is interest account and depreciation account. So, we have to transfer that account. Yes, one thing, if you do not pass this entry directly and you have opened one depreciation provision, then in lieu of this entry you can write profit and loss account debited 1,000 to provision for depreciation on machinery 1,000. If you remember, we have already done in the depreciation chapter how simple depreciation entry will be passed and how with the provision for depreciation account how it will be passed. So, if provision for depreciation account is opened, it will be profit and loss account debited to provision for depreciation account. Coming to the closing entries, that is the nominal accounts, two nominal accounts are there, that is interest account and depreciation account, and this interest account and depreciation account being debited first of all will have to be closed, by transfer to the profit and loss account. So, here the entry will be passed, the last entry will be passed, that is profit and loss account debited to depreciation account to interest account. To depreciation account 1000, to interest account 900. So, profit and loss account will be debited with 1900. This will be the entry. So, this entry will be passed when we are going to close the depreciation account and interest account because they are nominal accounts. Now, from this let us prepare the ledger accounts. Here the important ledger account is your asset account or say machinery account, and then interest account and depreciation account. So, machinery account as and when are debited you can show it. Here machinery account debited to bank 1000. So, machinery account debited to bank account 1000. Then on December 31st, but in the same year, it is machinery account debited to interest, sorry, machinery account debited to hire vendor 3000. Machinery account debited to hire vendor 3000. Then interest account debited to hire vendor 900. Interest account debited to hire vendor 900. We are not preparing the hire vendor account because immediately it will be closed. In this method hire vendor account is not that important. Then coming to depreciation account, here is the depreciation account debited to machinery. So, depreciation account debited to machinery 1000 and machinery account will be credited by depreciation 1000. In this way, we can now go to the last entry when depreciation account and interest account are being credited and by profit and loss account. By profit and loss account 900, so that it is closed. By profit and loss account 1000, so it is also closed. So, this way we can prepare the depreciation account, interest account and machinery account. Now, these two accounts are closed because they are nominal accounts, they are not showing any balance to be carried forward, but machinery account is showing some balance. What is the balance? The balance is by balance carried down it is 4000 here. So, 4000 minus 1000, that is 3000. So, it will be carried forward by balance carried down 3000 or to the next year to balance brought down 3000. Now, we understand from this that when in the balance sheet we will have to show, the balance sheet at 3000 rupees. How it will be shown in the balance sheet? Balance sheet in the asset side, first we will show the asset, that is the machinery 4000 because total amount we have given 4000, that is 1000 ones and 3000 ones, 4000 and less depreciation. How much depreciation? 1000. So, what is the balance left? 3000 in the outer column. So, that will be the way in which it will be shown. Let me prepare the balance sheet here, the extract only. In the balance sheet we can write in the asset side machinery 4000, that is the cost we have already given. We have borne the cost to the extent of 4000. So, machinery account 4000 less depreciation 1000. So, it is coming to 3000. So, that will be at the end of the first year. At the end of the second year, again how it will be shown? It will be shown 3000 less depreciation of the second year. Suppose the second year depreciation is 900. So, 3000 minus 3000 plus whatever amount will be given towards the principal. In the second year end, we will be giving 3000 again towards the principal, that is the second installment. So, it will be 4000 plus 3000, that is 7000, but depreciation is already 1000 and another 900, that will be deducted. Or we can say directly the book value 3000, add how much we are paying in the second year towards the principal amount, another 3000, 3000 plus 3000, 6000, 6000 minus depreciation of the second year, because first year depreciation has already been deducted, 900. So, 6000 minus 900 will be 5100. That will be the amount of the machinery which will appear in the asset side. And in the third year similarly 5100 plus 3000, 8100 and 8100 minus the depreciation of that year, which may be 810, whatever it comes to, that will be recording. This entry will not be passed anymore, because this is the down payment entry which is given only once at the beginning, but all the other entries, that is this one, this one, this one, this one, these 4 entries will be passed every year. In 2015, if we pass these entries, in 2016 we will pass not this entry, but all the other entries we can pass, in 2017 also. In 2016, what will be the entry? The entry will be for this machinery account debited, that is at the end of the second year. At the end of the second year, again machinery account will be debited, machinery account will be debited with 3000. Interest account will be debited how much? What is the interest due? Out of 10,000, we have already given 4,000 in the first year, 1,000 in down payment and 3,000 in the first installment. In this is 4,000. So, what is the balance due on us? 6,000. On 6,000, that was the balance due on 1st January 2016. So, for the whole year of 2016, that is on 31st December 2016, we have to calculate interest on that, on the amount due on us, that is 6,000. On 6,000 at the rate of 10% per annum, the interest is coming to 600. So, the interest entry will be for 600. So, that hire vendor account will be credited 3,600. So, this entry is only for 3,600, that is 3,000 towards the principal, 600 towards the interest. So, the hire vendor account is getting a credit of 3,600. Similarly, here we will be making the payment of 3,600 to the hire vendor. So, it will be 3,600, that is hire vendor account debited to bank account. Hire vendor account debited to bank account 3,600, 3,600. Coming to depreciation, depreciation of the second year will be how much? If it is on diminishing balance method, out of 10,000, 1,000 rupees depreciation has already been deducted at the end of the first year, then at the beginning of the second year, it is coming to 9,000. On 9,000, if we provide depreciation at the rate of 10% on 9,000, that is on the diminishing balance, it is coming to 900. So, the entry will be for 900. What is the entry? entry is depreciation account debited 900 to machinery account 900. This will be the entry. Then these two amounts, that is the depreciation and the interest, will be transferred to the profit and loss account. So, the profit and loss account will be debited to depreciation 900, to interest 600, in this way 1500. This will be the entry, last entry of the second year. So, you can accordingly prepare the balance sheet also by taking into consideration all these data which we have already discussed. Now, coming to the third year, that is 2017, the ultimate year, that is the last year. First of all, this entry will not be passed, down payment is not made. Now, this entry will be there, that is the amount due towards the machinery, that is cost, again 3000. And what is the interest? Because after giving 6000, out of 6000 we have given 3000 towards the principal. So, only 3000 is remaining. At the beginning of the third year, the amount due on us is 3000. So, on 3000 at the rate of 10% per annum, interest is coming to 300. So, the interest entry will be for 300. So, here for the interest it will be 300. So, the total amount due is 3300. And the hire vendor account will be debited 3300 when we make the payment. So, this is for the payment entry. Then coming to depreciation, how much will be the amount of depreciation? First year it was 10,000 minus 1,000. So, it was 9,000. Again in the second year 9,000 minus 900. So, it was 8,100, and in the third year again 810 will be deducted. So, that it will be coming to 0, then 9, 7,290. So, this 810 is the amount of depreciation in the third year, 810, 810. Then the last two entries, that is for 810 and 300, we can pass the entry profit and loss account debited to depreciation account, how much? 810, to interest account 300, in this way 1110. This will be last year's entry. Now, coming to the balance sheet, it will appear in the asset side at 7,290. How? In the balance sheet we can say, if this is the asset side, let us write like this: machinery balance was 8,100, less depreciation for the third year, that is 810. So, it will be 7,290. In this way, in the outer column of the balance sheet we can show 7,290, and that is the debit balance ultimately of the asset. So, in this way you can prepare the journal entries, then the ledger accounts, important ledger accounts, and then the balance sheet. And in the balance sheet, how you will record the depreciation and the asset account, and sometimes in the next two methods we will read that not only the cost price less depreciation, but also something else will come to picture, that the amount due to the hire vendor. We will come to the second one just in the next class. Thank you.